What's up, guys? Welcome to NeXt Gaming, where we cover everything newsworthy that pertains to gaming. And today I was just wanted to give you guys some news. It's not a lot. It's you know, we have some THQ news, we have some Battlefield news, we have some Ubisoft Plus news, Saints Row review, Dead Island 2 just got leaked, and Death Stranding is coming to PC. So we have a lot to go over. Let's just jump into it real quick with some small stuff I wanted to get out of the way. First off, Midnight Fight Express just hit Game Pass. Definitely gonna check it out. Looks like Microsoft's answer to Sifu. Reminds me a lot of Hotline Miami, actually. So definitely gonna check it out. Hopefully it ain't too big of a game. 4 gigabytes max, so I can fit it on my Xbox. And Blizzard also confirmed Diablo 4 will not feature loot boxes. So that's awesome. Didn't really expect it to have it in. Glad it doesn't. Now that's out of the way. Let me just get into the good news. Cause I kind of like condensed 3 days worth of news into this, like highlights of 3 different days of news. So I kind of want to get through it quick, but I do want to get detailed. So let's just fucking try. I got the Vape Nation right here to keep me going. I'm going to try and pause it when I take a vape, but we'll see. Okay, so let's start it off with the Battlefield news. So there was a survey that hit, and it was basically, the developers asking if what they're doing in Battlefield has ruined the Battlefield experience for them. And when I originally wrote this, I said, I hope the fan base isn't to a point where it's toxic enough to make a Battlefield franchise that we all know and love into a hero looter shooter. And I got my answer, and I'm kind of proud and still disappointed. It's like when you go to the doctor and you have a pain and then he tells you what it is. It's like that. So basically the survey was going over a broad bunch of details, bunch of all about the new mechanics, basically saying, like, did you like this, did this not satisfy you, that's basically what it was. And then but there was this other side, because the survey, I don't really care about the survey, I was just hoping that people, they gave good feedback. But what I was more interested was that Marcus Leto, the co-creator of the Halo universe and now the game director of the Battlefield franchise, is seeking feedback directly on Twitter, asking about air vehicles, destruction. He got a lot of feedback on tweets about music tone, whether people responded more to like the heroic, the fun, or like gritty sounds. He also the fan base liked. He also wanted to. I'm reading this. I'm like, I've totally worded that bad, but he also wanted to know if the fan base liked destruction for design evolution or for pure spectacle, and of course how people like jets and helos and in the multiplayer. So that's cool that they're he's trying to get feedback. That's awesome. I hope it comes with to fruition and something happens, because I want Battlefield to come back to what it is. I don't know if this game is going to be able to come back, but it looks like DICE is reverting back to the old class system. They got announced, I believe it was yesterday, that the class system for Battlefield 2042 is reverting, with the changes coming in Season 3. Now, Season 2 starts next month, so we have an entire season, sadly, until we can judge the game again. And that's just ridiculous. It's going to be a year in, and you lost everybody, and you're still, and I mean, I get it. It's probably a lot to implement, and I'm sure that, it's not going to fix the game. If they did that, they probably want to fix everything else and launch this accordingly, so let's see. Let's just see where it goes. What can I say? Anyway, moving on, we have Death Stranding coming to PC Game Pass tomorrow, August 24th. And this is a huge win for Microsoft. I just wanted to point this out. I think the reason it happened was because Sony probably didn't have all the publishing rights. They probably just had console exclusivity, and they said they'll publish the game for Kojima. That's what I'm assuming happened, and I think that's what the article said that I was reading. But it's coming to PC Game Pass. And that's awesome. You know, Microsoft's on a streak. I don't think that their business model is the best, but I do think that they're on a streak that's just undeniable. You know, you can't deny what they're doing right now. They have the Bethesda deal went through. They have Activision going through. They have this deal with EA Play. EA Play puts certain games on Game Pass. You know, so that's hot, bro. That's really something. And what I was actually thinking of was because Kojima is also reportedly working on an Xbox exclusive right now. I'm like, could Xbox be getting the Silent Hill game? Like maybe not titled that way because of copyright maybe or Konami getting involved or whatever might be, but maybe they're gonna get the horror centric Kojima game exclusive to Xbox. That would be legendary and another win for Xbox, and it would just be amazing, you know, just for the Xbox fans. So can't wait. I can't wait to see where Kojima and Microsoft go with this. Okay, so the next one is Dead Island 2 coming early next year. We got some leaked screenshots and details on Amazon. We got the box art and a couple gameplay screenshots were included. So we knew most of this, and I don't really want to get into this too much because it's at this point. I mean, yeah, the couple screenshots could be something, and that's about it. I mean, I want to know if the release date matches up. That would be really interesting if it did, and then it would basically confirm this. But it says that it's going to be in LA. We knew that. 6 characters to choose from and many action possibilities to kill zombies. A new skill system to customize each individual slayer, and the game will launch February 3rd, 2023. It also has its announcement coming at Gamescom. So if it doesn't show up at Gamescom, this all might be a bunch of BS, but let's just see what comes to light. I also want to know if this is going to be another Back 4 Blood zombie disappointment. I feel like zombie games are not top notch anymore. I think Dying Light has been the only one in the recent years that done pretty good. So let's just see. I'm hopeful. I really liked the Dead Island 2 trailer all the way back in 2014. So let's see if we can finally get it, and let's see if it's good. Next, Microsoft's first approval for the Activision deal came through out of Saudi Arabia. That's just a little tidbit right there. I don't think they're going to have too much problems getting through with that, considering everyone but Sony in the industry is fine with it. So I don't think it's just going to be nice when it does go through. That's going to be like, oh my God, it happened. It did. I mean, I knew it was, but today's the day. Activision became Microsoft's. So it's literally a gaming benchmark, you know, in history. You know, it's one of the biggest companies, and Microsoft bought them. You know, that's something. You know, that's oof. But speaking of Sony is getting sued for 5 billion euros, which counts to 6 billion American dollars. Basically, what happened was that Sony has they get 30% of revenue, and they're saying that, you know, because of $70 prices, it's just a ripoff. You know, digitally, physical, DLC, all this is all just a ripoff, and that prices need to go down and people need to be paid, and it's like a class action lawsuit. And I don't think it's gonna spark anything. I mean, yeah, Sony could probably pay that just to get out of it real quick, but I was, you know, this is like going to Lambo, you know, going to Lamborghini and like, hey, Lambo, so you don't have anything cheaper? And they're like, no. And well, why? And like, we make top notch, you know, we want to make well, what it, you know, it's just your argument. You wouldn't argue with the Lambo salesman, right? So I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but if it does, I'll be shocked. But very interested to see where that goes. So. Next, we're going to talk about THQ. Basically, first off, their sales very low. Underperformed, especially from MXV the racing game on both consoles and PC. Many criticizing it for being a mess of a game for the franchise, and many wanting them to go back to the PS3 era of the series. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, with their latest show, I'm hopeful. They had a lot of cool stuff, and even the Evil Dead game did really well, which was a really big surprise. But I really wanted to play this game. I'm big into the MXV ATV, and I haven't played one in years. Heard it's coming out, and then I hear the gameplay is kind of a mess, and it's just that's disappointing. But I'm glad I know. I'm gonna wait for a price drop, but they announced their Gamescom 2022 lineup, and it looks really interesting. So I don't know if it's just this quarter for some reason, and maybe COVID had a lot of issues and delays, but the Gamescom 2022 lineup, it looks very well. Alone in the Dark, very interesting. Looks I'm not familiar with the reboot. I mean, not the reboot, but like the original concept. But very interested. It looks really dark, and I think it's in like the 18th century time kind of setting. So looks interesting. They got a game called Tempest Rising. Looked good. Looked kind of like Command and Conquer esque. So looks pretty good. Recreation surprised me. Looked pretty good. Looked like the Hot Wheels game. And I think it's definitely going to be worth your money if the custom map making goes through the way I hope it will be. So that looks interesting. Another one, AEW Fight Forever. I just want to know how this one compares to WWE 2K, because it's supposed to be more arcadey than 2K, but not full blown. It's going to be more like the classic wrestling games from like the PlayStation, which are coincidentally my favorites. So hopeful. I do want to see more from that. Another one called Outcast 2: A New Beginning. Seems like it has potential. Reminds me of Anthem a little bit, but that could just be the flying mechanics. Not too much on that one. They have a SpongeBob Cosmic Shake coming. Not really interested, but I'm glad that there's still games like this. That's why I just wanted to point it out. Good on you, THQ. I'm glad. I'm happy you guys are still making games for kids that are like, I used to play SpongeBob games and stuff, and Jimmy Neutrons and Billy and Mandy's. Those were awesome. So I'm glad there's still a market for that. That always makes me happy. That gaming is still kind of like grounded sometimes. There's this strategic RTS game, The Valiant, and I'm just gonna wait till reviews come out. See what happens with that, because it looks average to me, but could be a pretty good one. Never know. And then the last one, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. This one, I really don't have much to talk about with that one. I mean, I know I played the original. I played the reboot of the first one. I have no worries at all. I just hope it's like $40. It ain't full price, just because, I don't want to pay out the ass. But it does look fun. It looks even bigger and better than the first one, just like the original Destroy All Humans 2 did compared to the original. So I think it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. And the last couple news stories, I have 3 left. Looks like we might get new gameplay of Starfield at Gamescom. And basically this is just stupid. Bethesda has this blog post that they kept changing over and over again. First it said that Gamescom and Redfall are going to be they're going to have footage at Gamescom from the Xbox Bethesda showcase. They said that it will feature Redfall, Starfield footage from Xbox Bethesda showcase, and then they took out from Xbox Bethesda showcase, and it was just Redfall, Starfield, and then they took out I'm fucking mixing them up. Redfall and Starfield. So now it's just they don't even have it in the blog post. So people are kind of expecting that we're going to get something. I think it's a 50-50. I think it's either going to be that we get new gameplay or we don't get anything at all. And that's the only thing that makes sense to me why they would take down, either mention of these games on the blog post. So can't wait to see. But I also don't care because the games are far away. We have like 8 months, So it's just kind of silly to think about right now. What am I sitting on? I think I'm sitting on something. Oof. Okay. And Ubisoft Plus. Ubisoft Plus is rumored to be coming to Xbox soon. Well, not rumored. I mean, I'm sure it's coming to Xbox soon, but the rumor is that it's going to be coming to Game Pass. That it's going to be like bundled with Game Pass. Ubisoft is kind of like commented on that it's not, but it could be taken that way eventually. I know Ubisoft is hurting right now in the industry, so I'm sure Microsoft could buy Ubisoft for cheap, maybe, or maybe Ubisoft just makes a deal so that their games sell a little bit more because they're doing terrible right now. It wouldn't be, I wouldn't see it as odd or shocking that would happen, but that would just be insane to think about that. They have Bethesda, Activision, and then they have EA and Ubisoft putting content on their. It really does become kind of like the Netflix of gaming, except the only thing that I don't personally like Game Pass for is their first party games. That's the biggest letdowns. They have these games like Halo Infinite taking a year and a half to even get operational, and then they're delaying everything indefinitely. And I don't know. I just think Game Pass is not the greatest business strategy. But it's a service that's worth the money. I'll give it that. Definitely worth the money. $15 a month to have so much content it's worth it. But I don't think it's the greatest business model to keep gaming going. Definitely not. And I don't even really agree with this whole digital future thing. This whole digital only world does not seem realistic. I don't want all my games to be digital. I want the physical merchandise. I also don't want to have I don't know if Sony's just saying it to kind of just brush off everything, but they're saying the quality of the games will go down. I don't want that, but I don't mind paying $70 2 or 3 times a year for great titles versus paying $15 a month for titles that are late and broken. And so I don't know. I have both systems. I have PS5 and a Xbox Series X. So they both do their own services, but it's almost like it's catered to a type of gamer, the same way Netflix is catered to a type of person versus HBO Max. You don't just go on HBO Max and watch random things or watch just anything. You usually go there and you have a specific thing that you are into versus Netflix. Everybody has Netflix, but the people that are always on Netflix almost don't care about anything anyway. And it's no hate on Netflix. I have Netflix. I do the same thing. I'll get on Netflix and I'm just like put on anything. And that's what I feel like the comparison is, but maybe I'm just half baked over here. I don't know. But yeah, the last news story that I wanted to bring up was Saints Row. So the Saints Row reboot, it has heated up. It is definitely heated up to a point where people are they are not feeling it. They are not feeling it. And I almost called it, but I didn't because I was hopeful in a way. But, I saw this coming. Ever since like the first trailer that Saints Row put out, it just seemed a little vibrant and a little woke-ish to me, which false alarm or not false alarm, heads up. I am kind of against some woke ideas. I don't like everything woke. I think some things definitely are faulty when it comes to the woke society. And I thought this was kind of that direction, and then more gameplay came out, and I was like, okay, so it doesn't look terrible. It seems a little innovative how they do the specials and all that. But I still wasn't buying it, and I still wasn't gonna spend full price for it just because I'm busy anyway when this game came out, so I didn't have time for that, and I have Dying Light 2 to get through, so I was just gonna wait on it. I'm sure the price would drop, and then I saw the reviews, and it got bombed. It got bombed, claiming it's disrespect to the original fan base, even with them knowing how the franchise has slowly gotten worse, title after title. I think the last one was probably one of the worst in the series. I think 3 was meh. I really think 1 and 2 are probably the greatest. That you're gonna get. Well, 3 was, I like 3 though. Actually, 3 was probably my favorite. That I came in late into the Saints Row franchise though. But the original fan base, it basically did get worse after each progressing title. But it's they say it's muddled with boring gameplay. The story centers around college students making money working for gangs um, to pay off student debt. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of character customization detailed as well, which it always looks really good, usually, but this time it looks really, comparisons, like, it looks phenomenal. But I mean, who really cares when, you don't have a big variety of enemies? I guess each gang has like 4 different types or something like that, so that's frustrating. There's a lot of AI issues. Hopefully that gets fixed later. um, it's just overall technically buggy, and it's it still has some decent goofy moments throughout. There's no online co-op, just couch co-op, so that's new. But yeah, many bugs, technical issues, maybe because of an old engine at fault. I'm not sure. Um, and then people say it's outdated gameplay. It has outdated gameplay systems, bad shooting. You know, and someone actually at worst uh, compared it to mobile games quality, which this is all ignoring the people that are saying that the game went woke and it's trash, because there's those are people, but I'm not saying that's me. I don't know. I haven't played the game, but if it is super, I mean, fucking college kids trying to pay off debt or some shit just sounds so cringy to me, and yeah, that could have ruined it, but nonetheless, if they did go really woke, let's just say they went woke, and the gameplay was good, I would still say the game was good. It was just like, yeah, they got kind of woke, but it's solid. It's fun, but it's not the same. This not only, it might not even be woke. Can you think about that? What if it's actually not woke? It's just a dumbass concept about college kids, and then they ruined it with the gameplay, and it's just bad and buggy, and it's just a mess of a game. There's just so many ways that this could be interpreted, and through each different level of the fan base too, because you have the OGs and like the 3-4 kind of fan base. So this game just looks not. It doesn't look like Saints Row, oddly enough. And I think they tried in some aspects and just didn't give a fuck in some other ones. So I don't know. I'm not gonna pick it up for a while. But yeah, the last thing we do have a little bit of time. We could probably highlight real quick is the sales report. Or actually, I'll just leave that to the next one, because I'm probably gonna make 2 today, talking about obviously sales report and some other news that just came out today. That's going to be a much shorter one, much shorter. Uh, so there's that. But anyway, guys, this is it. This was the first one. I know it's kind of been a cluster of information, and it's been a little longer than I honestly am going to want to make these, considering how much news I just said. But a lot of these were really big topics, and I wanted to go through them real quick. But yeah, until next time, it's been NeXt Gaming. Subscribe. See you. Peace out.